Good morning. Hello, 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 everybody. It's Susie McMahon with a special pop-up introduction today on Friday morning. It's 9:30 a.m. in Colorado and 11:30 out there on the East Coast to all my friends there. I am so excited this morning to welcome a 15-year-old, not that you're 15 years old, but we've known each other for 15 years. I met Lynn Young 15 years ago, and I am so excited to introduce her to our virtual book club today. Lynn is right there. Wave, Lynn. Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing this morning?
Oh my gosh, it's a gorgeous day here in Colorado, Susie, and I'm so glad to be here with your group, with the other people whom I haven't met yet, but I'm excited to be with you.
I'm so excited that you're here too. So everybody, just so you know, I'm kind of in it's like a fort almost. It's kind of cool. I'm in Crested Butte, Colorado, and my family is downstairs getting ready to go flying actually. And there was a lot of ruckus. Everybody's running late. So I said, I got to go somewhere quiet. So here I am with Lynn Young. Everybody that's watching today, please in the comments, let us know where you're watching from. That helps us know exactly who's been here today. But I'm going to start by reading Lynn's bio. I am going to hold it far away from me. The lighting is challenging here. Hi, someone says Facebook user. So whoever's saying hello, do me a favor and tell me your name or grant StreamYard permission to use your name in the comment section. You're not signing up for anything when you grant StreamYard permission. You're just allowing the agreement between my streaming service and Facebook to say who you are. So with no further ado, Lynn Young is a co-active coach, speaker, and founding mama of the Badass Sagers. Everybody, by the way, I'm a 2-time Badass Sager if we talk about how many times we do the little process.
Yeah.
She believes life is juicier when we're playing, making, and serving the common good. A global citizen and ambassador for joy, she colors outside the lines and knows that life is a gift. Lynn holds an MA from the University of Colorado in International Coach Federation Profession Certified Coach. Sorry, I might have said that wrong. Is an international coach with the Federation Profession Certified Coach and was a coach with the Center for Creative Leadership. Lynn adores color, sunshine, her amazing family, and dark chocolate. Me too, Lynn. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you, Susie. It is just my pleasure to be here.
I'm so excited. So everybody, I have the image about when we're going to meet later. I'm going to move this down in a second and ask for you just to put this on your calendar. Join us August 22nd after you've read Red Hot Living, and we will interview Lynn in length and have a conversation as a virtual book club. But with that, I was going to ask you, Lynn, tell us what's the backstory for Red Hot Living?
Yeah, I love that, Susie. Thank you so much for this just chance to be with you, to play with you. Love that introduction. It's like there's this sort of loving life, like living and loving life that is like a through line of my life, but not ours. So I'll tell you that in a second. But as a woman who has had life adventures, journeys, discoveries, learning over the years, I realized I had something that I wanted to offer. It was almost a little bit like a baby that wanted to be born, that wanted to be birthed out of me. And it was some of my ahas that have come through the years. First, as a person growing up, we all have those. Everybody's got them. And when I wrote the book, I wrote it in such a way that I hope it would trigger in the best sense. It would connect you to your ahas, your life. You're like, oh, that's Lynn's, but here's how it was for me. So woman growing up in the world, woman learning, woman discovering, woman falling down, woman getting up, all of that, woman going on for my master's, what I learned there. And then especially as I came into the seat of being a co-active coach, and those tools and skills that are game changing for people's lives, I wanted to offer that to the world. So that was this book that wanted to be born. And I wrote it in a kind of I tee it up a little bit like appetizers, a little bit like it's not the whole story. It's not the whole meal, but it will whet your appetite and invite you into your whole meal of your whole story. I hope that that was the purpose. And people who are reading it, I wrote it for women. I want to say that. And I actually wrote it for women of a certain age who were like midlife and older and weren't born yesterday. Actually, the book is being loved by people of all ages, and the book's being loved by men too. So it's a human story. I mean, really, underneath it all, we are human. And when we live from certain perspectives, our life gets way juicier. And I wanted that for people, so that's why I wrote the book. One piece of the backstory is the book begins with one of the times when I've not one time, but a big falling down in my own life, which was my own alcoholism, and then moving into my recovery. And part of why I started the book with that, it's not the primary story, although I do believe we all have something that kind of maybe in our lives gets in the way of our shine or our joy. And that can have any number of names, big or small. So I'm interested in kind of blowing up the categories of that, getting that out of the way, so that we can live really, really fully. But when I was struggling, this was back in my early 20s. I had a really great life actually, and inside of me was this mantra that was, "Where is the joy?" Despite all the good things, I couldn't tap my own joy. And so the great irony is that over my lifetime, I just like so found joy and lived joy and be joy. And joy isn't like la la, ooh, everything is sweet, my life is happy and perfect. Joy is not that. Joy is the ability to live life and be in it, in no matter whatever hard or real, because that'll happen. Of course, I call it life gets lifey. Finding joy in the all of it. So I'm that person now. And this book for you is a place to access, tap, and direct you into your joy. And that's different for all of us. So it's a very much an invitation. It's part memoir, it's part how-to. Every chapter has a little something at the end, like like a little cliff notes. Like if you didn't read the chapter, you could just read these messages, and that'd be perfect.
I'm sorry, I was waving my hand. So I have a window open right behind me. That's why we heard the traffic noise. And a lovely little yellow jacket has come in to say hi. So I just didn't want him to land on me, but he can fly around whatever he needs to do. Lynn, thank you for that. And I just wanted to clarify, I mean, it's actually in your book. When I say, hey, I'm a 2-time badass sager, excuse my language, guys, but I am a badass sager. Tell people what that means, or explain the work that I did with you in a group during what I believe it was 2020 and then
Totally.
again 2021, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So what happened? Backstory there. The pandemic hit. Instead of coaching executives and leaders in on-site programs here in Colorado, all of that dried up. And so I launched something that was like interesting and fun to me. And I gave it the name Badass Sagers. So these were Badass Sager salons, just because, me time, having something, seriously, just have the things in your calendar make you smile when you look at them. That is a red hot living move. So I launched the Badass Sagers, which were Zoom salons for women who weren't born yesterday and are so not done. And I want to explain that the badass is it is an edgy word, and it's like, and it was by design. It's like wake up energy. It's like to be bold, to be up to something, to be risking, to, even to be living the life that you imagine, which is different from everybody else's life. That's the badass part. The sager part is pointing at something entirely different, which is we have wisdom in us. Those of us who have lived certain years, not everybody, but if we've been paying attention, we have in us, kind of a don't sweat the small stuff. We've learned some things where there's a calm, there's a peace, especially when we get in touch with our true nature. That's sage, like elder. So badass sager is sort of an action pairing. Look at this. It looks kind of like wings now of both parts of ourselves. And we need both parts of ourselves to like move forward and live and like keep on living. There's a chapter in here called shrinkage. And I'm an advocate of like, no, shrinkage is not really it doesn't become us to shrink. my real fascination is like letting, like you, Susie, in the salon with other women. It's like not, we can all grow one-on-one, but it's really fun when we get in the container with other women and we help each other rise and shine and get rid of anything that's in the way. It's playful, there's laughter, there's tears, and there's growth, and there's a kick-ass, like, you know what, this is what's next for me. So that's Badass Sagers Salons one. I am about to plan the next one, but it will launch most likely early September. So you can look for that on my website.
Okay. And what is your website, Lynn?
It's Lynn, Lynn hyphen Young, YOUNG.com. Yeah. And you can find more about me, and you can buy Red Hot Living there. All of that stuff is over there.
Okay. And can you repeat it one more time? I'm just typing it in.
Yeah.
Lynn.
Lynn, just the little hyphen sign, Young, YOUNG.com.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So thank you for explaining that. And I also wanted to say one of the things that I love the best about your book, the print version is a little different than what's on Kindle. And I love how you have your handwriting, your calligraphy, your art, your creativity on each page. And one of the reasons why I love it so much is one of the heartfelt gifts that you sent me prior to work I did with you was a rock, a stone with metallic writing, and I believe it said joy on it, or maybe it said hope. Either one of those are wonderful things to think about. Lynn, tell us a little bit about your journey when you were making this book, who you contacted, who helped you get the book printed, published, and then close out the deal with that launch day. I was with you virtually, and all the awards you won on Amazon.
Thanks, Susie. So yeah, I know some of the people in this in your universe, Susie, are authors, and so we all have our stories. And I know a lot of people have books in them and haven't put them out in the world. That's very, very common. And I was that person for 10 years. I had a dream of writing this book. I wanted to share about joy, basically. And yeah, Red Hot Living, the subtitle is Becoming a Joyful Badass Sager. So it's like the joy leading with the joy. I actually even signed up for another course. I went to a workshop. I flew to Baltimore. I did all kinds of things. It was very good stuff. I have a suitcase full of ideas that literally was sitting in my office for 10 years getting dusty. Like there was the dream and then there was the real. And so I am so glad that inside, two things happened for me in the pandemic. I myself took a next growth journey. I think we're all better when we're on growth journeys. So I was and am in a growth journey through the amazing organization called Produce You. It's with Rick Tamlin, who's the author of Play Your Bigger Game. He's amazing. So I was inside that community, growing, stretching myself, and through him, I connected with Karen Strauss, who founded Hybrid Global Publishing. And so here's how it is. There's traditional publishing, like we all think of, and you've got the advance and all of that, and it's maybe hard to get an agent or a publisher or whatever that is. And then I'm trying to do a continuum. Over here on the other side is self-publishing, right? Where you're doing it all yourself. Hybrid Global is right in the middle. And it was the perfect pairing for me. So I engaged Karen Strauss, Hybrid Global Publishing. They did all the publishy things and coached me. All I had to do was be the writer, the creative. I did not lose control of the book. It was really fun to collaborate with them on it every single step of the way. Loved it. They're the ones that put it up on Amazon and coached me on the launch and on the online. We had an amazing online global launch party that was so much fun. And we had an in-person launch party, which was so fun to gather friends and family from across the years together in one room to celebrate it. And so inside of that was a challenge, of course, how the algorithmic stuff works inside of Amazon to help boost the books, rising in the algorithms, which it did, and all my friends and family jumped in, including you, Susie, jumped in to spread the word, to support me, to share with their friends and family, to buy the Kindle version on a certain day, and all of that meant that it did rise to 4 best-selling categories in Amazon, which is very exciting. So now it gets to have this, where sticker on it, the Amazon best-selling author. Yeah. So that was just like energetic. And the thing I want to name inside of that, which is part of Red Hot Living, is taking risk. Like risking, like, oh my gosh, risking being public, risking putting it out there, risking asking people to be a part of this wave. You know what I mean? Like sharing it big time and then seeing what happens. And the other thing I want to name is I also then went forward and recorded, self-narrated and Audible for it. And I'm working this week and next on the finishing touches on that. I recorded it in a studio in Minnesota. Fabulous. Awesome. And that will be up on Amazon in case you're a listening person in August. I hope early August. We'll see, soon, very soon. And that was a really, really fun process. And the other thing I'll say is I just love the book. I love the messages in the book. So I even actually love hearing myself talk about the book.
That's awesome.
Warts and all, right? I mean, like the whole thing.
Now tell us, obviously it's available at Amazon, but tell everybody else if they want to support an independent bookseller, how can people get a copy of the actual physical book?
Exactly. I wasn't privileging Amazon. It's just the way our world is sort of set up to kind of begin there. So the Kindle form is there. You can get this lush. It's actually kind of luscious too. I want to name this. The way I love the way it feels in my hand. That just in the look of it. I wanted to create a book that I wanted to have laying on my own coffee table. You seem to be, whether I even open it or not. But yeah, you can go to your favorite, support. Part of Red Hot Living is aligning your values with what matters the most, with what you really love in all your actions. So you can go to any independent bookseller that you love to support online or in person, just ask them to order it. And you can do it that way in addition to Amazon. The Audible will be on Amazon as well. Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for that. And then I just wanted to make sure that everyone knows we will be get the book in the version that works best for you and in what aligns with your values, and just get at reading it. I can't wait to hear the Audible version, Lynn. So we'll have to let everybody know when that comes out. I have both the paperback copy and the Kindle. I held off on getting a Kindle for the longest time. And then I had another author, Dana Ridenauer, tell me about, when she was traveling, she's lugging around all these books because you want to finish a book and then have the next one. And she's like, why am I doing this? It weighs so much. And so how much I travel. So I was like, why am I? So I got a Kindle as well. And I love it because at nighttime, with my eyesight, as we become more of a saged individual, it's hard to read at night, even with a book light around your neck or whatever. But the Kindle with that warm glow, you don't have to have, anyway, I'm not advertising for Kindle, but I just love that I can do both. So get the book. And then we will meet again with Lynn and have a deeper discussion. I always encourage everyone in the virtual book club prior to our virtual book club live meeting to send me questions in advance. So that you always send to just my main email, which is Susie, SUSIE, at Simply Travel, TRAVELBYSUSIE.com, not Simply Travel. I said that one time and people literally wrote it down. So it's Susie at travelbysusie.com. You send your questions for Lynn and I facilitate them in our conversation. So when is that going to be? It's right here on the screen, August 22nd, 7 p.m. East Coast time. It always streams here in the group. It also streams over on YouTube if you're not a member of the virtual book club, or on Facebook. There's your alternative way of viewing. So with all of that, it'll be 7 p.m. East Coast, 5 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. Today we've had a little bit of Colorado representation, and then I believe some South Carolina. Patricia Pistel made a comment here that says she loves having both versions. You can wash dishes and listen, and then sit down and read. I agree with that. When you're doing other things, the Audible version is really helpful, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And you know, the other thing I want to say is this is it really falls in summer reading. I mean, it's a life book, but it's really good for summer because it has a lightness to it. And I wrote it in a way that was conversational, a little bit like we were talking. So it's like some of what's in here can change people's lives, but the feeling of the book is has a has a lightness and a propulsion to it. A lot of people say, yeah, I didn't plan to read it all, but I just sat down and I couldn't stop it. I just like read it all the way through.
And I think that goes to hats off to you, Lynn, for the little snippets, the little tastes. We all know that it takes a while to sit down and read a large novel, and sometimes smaller little snippets help someone continuing to move along instead of being overwhelmed by a very large work. Lynn, what else would you like to share with everybody in my virtual book club today? Of course, I wanted to go 15 minutes. We've already gone almost longer than that, and I love it because I love talking to you. But what else do you want to share with us today? And then we'll let everybody go back to their business and days and whatever they're doing. Go for it.
Absolutely. I just want to double click on Red Hot and Living. Like these are Red Hot isn't, it's not about the color red. Obviously, I like red. I've got, you know, like that's me, that's Lynn Young. But Red Hot is really like attuned to what you love and who you are. And then the living is like that, having that in the game. So I hope you'll read the book. I hope that we will see each other or be with each other in some form in the book group. I want to thank you, Susie, for that. But no matter what, I want you to go towards what you love. So that's the point. So if it's like, oh, yeah, I think I'd love to read this book, do it. If it's like, you know what, I don't think that's for me, don't do it. Like seriously, Red Hot Living is that kind of alignment and choice points and with joy in all of it. Thanks so much, Susie.
You're welcome, but hold on. You have the book next to you.
Yeah.
Can I put you on the spot? One of our viewers has asked for you to read something. Would you be willing to read us a little excerpt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, while you're looking at that, for those of you that are out there in the virtual book club, please know that it's my goal to always have as many people as possible at our live meetings. One of the things I've asked authors to do as we get close to a meeting is to do what's called a takeover of the group. And it was so cool what Ellen Malthus did last week. She came in and she shared photos and pictures of her with Pat Conroy and the glimmer in the eye of Pat with her. And I just think that's so cool that an author, and I hope Lynn will do this later as we get closer to August 22nd, shares a little bit more of the backstory, some photos from their preparations of their work or from life. And I really have I've received a lot of feedback from you guys in the group that you really enjoy that piece. So we're going to try to always the week prior to a virtual book club meeting with an author and let them take over the group. That's just a gift to everyone. Did you find an excerpt?
I did. I did. You know, would read my foretaste, but okay, maybe I am reading my foretaste. Never mind. Here it is. This is how the book begins. My 27-year-old face stared back at me from my bathroom mirror, rugged and raw. It was Sunday morning, April 6th, 1982. Shit. It had happened again. The whole morning wasted. Last night I was wasted again. I'm so tired of this. Tired of losing whole weekend mornings to hangovers. Tired of asking Ben to help me not drink too much before going out and then flaring angrily when he did. Who was I kidding? Tired of being jolted awake, drenched by fear, and waking Ben to find out what I'd done. Tired of buying the cheap wine so I'd drink less because it would taste so bad. Tired of buying the expensive wine so I'd value it more and drink less. Tired of the cans and bottles inside the fridge with the invisible door calling out to me in their seductive siren song, drink me, drink me. Tired of only getting respite when I'd drunk it all, or fell asleep, or blacked out. Tired of feeling increasingly depressed, even though I had my dream professional job, a fab new husband, cool, hip row house digs, a supportive family, and an abundance of wonderful friends. Tired of the incessant cry of the mantra that wailed from my guts, chanting, "Where's the joy? Where is the joy?" Just so tired. Here's the place it gets really messy. I actually don't know what happened next on that day or exactly why. Here's what I know, though. My dear friend Carol Johnson had invited me to a film on alcoholism. I remember that it was tonight. I'd blown her off the last time, but something in me shifted. And as I faced my face in the mirror, I decided this was my day. I called Carol and said yes. That night, there I was, a young feminist sitting on a hard folding chair in the Edina Public Library, watching an old-time corny black and white film with the alcoholic Ward Cleaver type guy coming home from work, briefcase in hand. And I instantly recognized myself. My floodgates burst, my held self let go. We drove in silence to an ice cream shop nearby. Clutching my chocolate milkshake, I looked straight through my tumbling tears into Carol's wide eyes and blurted, confessed, admitted, I think I'm an alcoholic. I want help. She burst into tears and lovingly said, I'm so relieved. I just couldn't watch you kill yourself. That day, April 6th, 1982, was my sacred threshold. I haven't had a drink since. Fast forward 40 years. I'm now the girl known for joy. Was it magic? No. Did I do it by myself? Not for a heartbeat. Did it take courage? Yes. Did it take letting go of a thing that wasn't working and trying something new? Holy moly, yes. Did it take getting real with myself and others? Big gulp. Yes. Did it take learning to love what I love unabashedly? Oh, yeah. Did it take a leap of faith into the mystery of the unknown? Totally. Did it take discovering a hot, fresh new way of dancing with life? For sure. Did it take shattering the box of my old, too small for me self? Yes. Did it take honoring commitments to myself and others in bold new ways? Yes. Did it take love? Yes. So much love. Did it take believing that I matter? Yes. Did it take a big, bold leap? Absolutely. Recovery rooms are famously anonymous by design, right? So that people can feel safe and free to let loose the floodgates. However, some of us in long-term recovery make the bold, conscious choice to speak out about our journeys, to be public, to share our experience, strength, and hope so that others can see that we are everywhere. That's me right now, right here. This book is my next big gulp moment, a leap chased by joy. It's me taking a risk so that maybe, just maybe one life, maybe yours, might be touched. The thought of that lights me up and brings tears to my eyes. Less pain, more joy. This is my story. It's every woman's story, really. It's every human's story. It's actually not primarily a story about alcoholism. However, it is a story about recovering from our velvet-lined ruts that block our joy. Recovering our most wild, delicious, free, and beautiful whole selves, all the parts, all the pieces, every messy inch, every wild longing, reweaving life in fresh, bold, and fabulous ways. Most of us have something that's gotten in the way of our shine. Cue, overeating, gambling, perfectionism, looking good, shopping and overconsumption, workaholism, martyring, shrinking, and a gazillion more ways that we numb out instead of come out. We've got buried parts and shame parts and lively parts and scary parts and delicious parts. Let's savor them. Let's ignite them. Let's ignite them and invite them. Because you know what? Joy is right around the corner, ready to have her way with you. I want that for you. If this girl with a "Where's the Joy" mantra can become an out and proud joy enthusiast, then I'm pretty sure so can you. This little book serves up nibbles for my life as you taste these morsels, sweet, bitter, tangy, succulent, tart, delicious. What I really hope is that you'll simultaneously taste your own sweet, precious life. Let my words splash your face and douse your soul. Let your tears come and your laughter rip. Let your senses come alive and your taste buds quiver. Let joy rise so that when you look in the mirror, you see your whole self fully alive, juicy, and beautiful, looking right back at you.
Thank you, Lynn.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Everybody, I hope that you got to see this entire conversation, this entire introduction of my friend, Lynn Young. I've known her for over 15 years, was blessed to work with her in 2020 and 2021. And just because I have a virtual book club and some of those authors are saying wow and applaud and very nice reading. Lynn, it's just, I've got lots of energy, lots of chills going on right now. It's an honor to know you. Thank you. And you guys read her book, and we'll talk again August 22nd.
See you then. Thank you so much, Susie. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks, Lynn.
Yeah, you're welcome.